For many years, I believed strength training is all I need. Lifting weights, mastering body control, falling in love with calisthenics. It was only then when I realized I was wrong.
Strength training is repeatedly proving to be the best way to fight aging. There is no single evidence that being strong would actually be a disadvantage. Whether we're talking about strong muscles, tissues, or even resilience, we can always benefit from it. For me, the real strength hunt began with calisthenics.
After years of lifting weights, I felt I needed a change. When I saw some athletes literally defying gravity in a local workout place, I knew I needed exactly that. I started training hard. Luckily for me, there are a lot of workout places. I even got a bar to do my pull-ups at home. I worked on my basics, I progressed gradually. I could feel becoming stronger and harder bodyweight skills becoming more available. Some of the skills I unlocked had seemed absolutely unreal just a few weeks before that time. So I was absolutely sure I want to excel in calisthenics and push my limits even further. Until my limits got me first.
At one point of my strength journey, I started hitting a wall. Plateaus are very often in calisthenics, which nobody told me before, but for me those weren't just temporary drawbacks. I was stuck, and what's worse, on the verge of getting hurt. As I later found out, I lacked mobility.
At first, I didn't plan on improving my overall mobility at all. Local adjustments, that's what I had in mind. After all, what do you need to land a muscle-up or planches, right? But as I started to work on my shoulder mobility, a completely new world opened up before my eyes. World where stiffness and related pain began to fade away. World where working out suddenly felt different, somehow stronger and more intentional. World in which for the first time in my life, functionality of my body took over the aesthetics.
I was always very stiff. Up until the age of 25, I couldn't even reach the ground with my legs straight. But after seeing the benefits of overall mobility, it simply became part of my life. It helped me not only get stronger, but really own the particular move or range of motion. And only then it became truly mine.
After combining deep mobility work with calisthenics, I started to progress again. But just as introducing mobility routine in my daily life had opened a door to this completely new world, there came a question sneaking through it as well. What else in the realm of movement is there for me to discover? What else am I missing? At that time, I fell in love with unlocking handstands.
In my calisthenics era, I viewed handstands as something marginal, a byproduct of training for other skills. But as I sought balance and control, I found out there's way more to it than meets the eye.
Handstands taught me perhaps more than whole my calisthenics journey. They taught me to listen to my fingers, my shoulders, my balance, and my fear. They taught me that control isn't something you earn once, but rather that it's something you practice every single day, and it definitely doesn't come cheap. Most importantly though, handstands taught me humility. Because no matter how strong you are, the floor doesn't care. Gravity doesn't care. You can't fake balance. You can't rush awareness. You can't skip the internal work.
Now, I realize this might seem too poetic, but I just want to demonstrate what incredibly experienced arm balancing is. It requires you completely, and there's no room for anything else. And I got absolutely absorbed by it.
Even though I'm still not done with handstands and arm balancing up until this day, thanks to the awareness that came with the balance, I saw another limit slowly approaching. The one I was afraid of the most: boredom. I got so engulfed in my strength, mobility and handstand trainings that it had become too much. I didn't want to leave all that behind, but exactly that would have happened if I hadn't done another important decision: to introduce fun into my practice. And that meant flow.
When I was a kid, I played a lot. Play was essential to me up until the age of 16, and to be honest, I think it has kind of stuck with me until this day. I just simply need play and game in my life to stay sane and joyful, and that's why I started to play even when working out.
Flow is an amazing tool to make things interesting and fun. Recalling my capoeira phase at the age of 12, I dusted my old skills and movement patterns and tried to flow yet again. Almost instantly I knew this was the missing link. Sure, I had to overcome the fact that capoeira and acrobatics had moved to the very edge of my skill set. Luckily, with hours of practice and fails, my body remembered. But I didn't stop there. Very soon I discovered locomotion and moves inspired by Ido Portal, which had roots in capoeira, animal moves, and soft acrobatics. With that came my new passion. Not only did flow return my joy, it also helped me get better at almost all movement aspects: strength, mobility, balance, reactiveness, plyometry, coordination, improvisation, cardio, creativity. Everything was there wrapped in a cool and immersive packaging.
Since then, there hasn't been a single day that I wouldn't get on the ground and start moving. Even a little bit, just a short flow to wake up in the morning, or a few minutes session to help me stretch after a long period of working at my computer.
Yet again, flow opened the door to something completely new. It connected everything together. Whether it is calisthenics, strength training, mobility, handstands, whatever, it's there. No more dilemma over what to do. Should I train calisthenics now? Or would a mobility session be more suitable? Suddenly, it didn't really matter. It was after some time that I realized I actually switched from simply working out to a movement practice. And with that, every chapter of my movement journey has become one language. Because once you stop chasing isolated goals and start showing up for the practice itself, something shifts. Progress becomes a byproduct, not the point. Consistency becomes lighter. Curiosity replaces pressure, and movement turns into something you live, not something you check off a list.
In my opinion, this is the real takeaway. A very important part of practice is exploration. Now, I've shown you how my practice has changed over the years, and I'm 100% sure that it's going to change again in the future. The thing is, it's not distracting anymore. Rather, all the pieces come together, they build up on one another. So go out there and enjoy your session. Have fun, experiment, try different moves. Because going broader doesn't mean you cannot go deeper once you find what's really speaking to you. Alright, and that's it for today. If you liked today's video, like, comment, and subscribe to my channel so even more people can join our movement community. Also, don't forget to check out my other videos and tutorials, and I'll be super glad if you share where you are at in your practice now. Have fun, and I'll see you next week.